This is a collect call with.
Collect call from.
We can't do face to face, so let's just do it. 2 minutes.
I think they might get Zoom. Sometimes they get a Zoom like.
True, I pretend to be there.
I'm watching too much Suits. Yeah, don't do that. Don't go crazy. Like I know everything they said in that show. I think I can do it.
It's a good show.
I feel like I can do it. I'm ready. I will say that's the one thing I appreciate about that show is like they don't undersell like how much work those people put in at night and stuff, like long nights just reading nonsense
And
and
they make it
documents and
seem
stuff.
like appealing too. I was like,
Yeah,
you
they're
actually
like-
be a lawyer, give her something.
I could work a 20-hour night and just read some stuff. No, I can't. I don't want to do
Get
that.
bored out of my mind. Just going through files and shit, reading it. No, dude.
Yeah, bring in like 80 boxes of files. Like I can get through all this in a night. I'm not doing that. Yeah.
I quit immediately.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
Or the, what are they called, the, whatever, the little, what your job is before a lawyer.
Paralegal.
Paralegal.
There it is. He's there. We're there.
Meghan Markle, that's.
That's what your mind's on.
I'm trying to
It's
think
good.
what
Well, she's the paralegal. That's.
Ladies and gentlemen, happy Wednesday. Glad you guys all made it back. Start this Wednesday off right. Anybody got any wins? Anything good going on in the wonderful world of real estate?
A near win. We're not gonna count it a win until we get it, but
Okay.
my buddy made a post yesterday and was like, my friend's looking for a realtor, so I messaged him. And his friend was looking to list in Valley, and I was just talking to him a little bit last night, and his friend wants to list right away. So I'm gonna have a conversation with them here in the next day or two.
Love it. Love it. Big follow-up call today. Here we go. It's interesting how like we have these conversations and before you know it, these opportunities, they just start popping up. This is awesome. Love it. All right, keep us posted. I want to see how this goes. Love it. More wins. Love when leads pop up. Leads are everywhere. They're everywhere. By the way, somebody registered on the website. Did we figure out whose person that was? That your person?
Yeah, that's up there.
Who knows?
No, it's not good right
Oh,
now.
you don't like that person.
No,
I'll take them, don't worry.
their
Oh.
situation's not good.
Got it.
It's gonna be like,
Spill the tea, dog. Like,
Yeah.
we're all here listening.
It's the same place.
his credit score is not good right
Oh, okay. Yeah.
like he's
That's not that
actually
big. of a-
approved.
Tell them to go get like an immense amount of cash.
Yeah,
now. Yeah,
Figure it out.
yeah.
rob a bank.
Don't do that.
Love it.
Allegedly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to make sure we have ample time to get some practice on this listing appointment script and practice going from beginning all the way through the end of this script. So you get a chance to really try it out on a person, try it out, hearing it from your partner so that you can really take some of these takeaways and begin working on mastery. Okay. And I want to push you this week to do as much of this without looking at your script as you possibly can. Okay. So, today I just want you to find a partner and I just want you to go beginning all the way through the end in a true role play. And if you get objections, handle those objections. If you don't get objections, great, get your listing signed. And let's put some houses on the market. All right. So today, find a partner. We'll go full length, beginning to end. And then should get a chance to go you all the way through and your partner all the way through. All right. Find a partner, preferably someone you have role played this all the way through with, and let's practice this.
I want to hear it.
You wanna hear it?
Last time I read it and I took all.
There you go.
Alex's
Find a
time.
partner.
Yeah, that's what happened with Joe yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday.
So
Yes,
I wanna-
yes, yes.
I wanna hear it this time.
Yeah.
No idea.
Even though I literally
I think it's like
thought
a $200 worth of materials, like all in all.
Well, I know that, like, we put it up, but then,
I thought I was.
Okay.
we'll try and get through it. Yeah, it takes the book, it takes the book.
So we put it
Let's do,
I like to make sure I'm on the same.
I wanted to tell Byron this before I forget. Byron,
Where we're going next.
I was looking through, like I'd searched just like, need a realtor or something, whatever. Came across one of your old listings or whatever. But in the comments, it literally, a girl goes, this was in 2019, and she was like, if you're gonna move, do it fast because the rates are gonna go up. Go really high, literally.
In 2019.
No, 2020.
In 2019, yeah. Surprise, the best interest rates ever. You're dead wrong. Who was that? Who is it? 'Cause she's dead wrong, whoever she is.
Michelle Smith.
I don't even know who that is, but she is.
I thought it was the funniest thing ever. I was like, does she know?
Screenshot it, send it back to her, like, this is not a, well,
It's a factual.
Actually, the lowest rate in history.
That's all factual.
People just come up with whatever they want.
They're
gonna go super high by now.
It's coming.
They're gonna go super low by now. You're right on by now. but the yikes. I thought that was really funny, and that was like May of like
Why
2019.
are you snooping on old folks?
I searched like literature or whatever or something on Facebook, like, oh, I searched Deer Creek. I'm searching Deer Creek, to see if there was anything, yeah, and one of his listings, it was, that had like popped up from a long time ago. Or we've done a lot of stuff.
Well, I'd love to start with giving you a quick tour of the home. I'll ask questions, take it through, and then we now take them, go through all the information I brought you today.
And if it's okay.
Sound good?
Yeah, yeah.
I brought a lot of information for us to go through, but before we dive in, I just want to make sure I'm on the same page with you. Yeah, real close. You can smell me though, I smell good, don't you? You know, yeah. Please sit in my lap, why don't you? Before we dive in, I just want to make sure I'm on the same page with you. You want to do where we're doing next, if we do decide to stuff with it?
We are going to move out of Omaha, so we currently live here, but.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but we're moving to Cancun, Mexico.
Moving to Cancun, tell me more about that, that's exciting.
We love vacation there, so we just decided it's great, let's just move there. So
Absolutely.
we're gonna do the whole like live at the resort and just pay resort fees instead of.
Sure.
paying that.
Absolutely. That's a freaking great idea, I'm actually looking at
Free
it myself.
drink
For sure.
for a long time.
Awesome, well, walk me through the best case scenario with the sale and when you'd like for all this to happen. and be done in Cancun.
Honestly, we'd like it to happen before the summer ends, so 3-4 months, you know, just definitely before
Before August, yeah, we have plenty of time.
Yeah.
Ideally, how many weeks are left in there if you could, I mean.
In a perfect world by July, right after July 4th, you know, because then I'll
After
celebrate that
July
out there, so we want.
No matter what.
But they,
You just stay on the resort, and that's your life, you're like locked into this resort.
I want to take out the paying rent. For
So
years.
this just shows you
It's cheaper.
homes in your neighborhood that have recently.
Yeah,
Things like
right
that.
after July 4th.
A lot of people want to.
Right after, okay, so you still have about 4 months before you want to be. in Cancun, is that right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I know you have a great home here, would you take that somewhere else, like, stay, still want to wait more months or whatever?
That means.
I would have willing to next question, but
If you weren't in the room.
I've never had a listing appointment where they're like, no, wait.
Oh, we just, you asked me when would be like.
Ideally, if you could choose when you're down in Cancun, when would you want to be there?
By July.
By July. Before July, or by July at the latest?
No, yeah, it could be all before July too, but July would be like the perfect scenario, but anytime before that.
So, just to make sure,
Fire shoes.
if you get in Cancun a month from now, would that work? Okay, so we just, July is at the latest.
Yeah, yeah.
Just to make sure. I'm
Yeah.
You kind of went the right way. Okay, I was asking more questions. You would dig out of that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
Because it sounded to me like ideally you want to be there around like July 4th, after here for July 4th and then go down. So yeah, just ask questions to clarify that. for sure. But as soon as possible, as long as it's before July 4th.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
at least a month.
at least a month. Gotcha. So anywhere between a month to July, like, well, and I know you have a great home here, so shoot me straight. Is it an option to stay here and not sell it all and not move down to Cancun?
3 days.
I mean, it is,
Right there.
we could just stay here.
We go over
but
that
we don't
number, we
want
start
to.
to lose
We
leverage.
wanna try this whole.
You don't want to, tell me more about that. I mean, why now? Why sell the house now and move down to Cancun?
Well,
What
our
triggered us, you know?
last kid just, graduated and left the house, so we're trying to
And then you can tell me.
try something new, while they're all gone. We're empty nesters.
Empty nesters, okay, so we have a lot more space.
Yeah.
That we no longer need, and then you don't wanna take care of a house when you can be down in Cancun at a resort.
And do it for a few years and then move back and say sorry.
Okay, absolutely, so let's take a little midlife
Midlife
retirement for yourself. Absolutely, very exciting, more people should do that, it sounds like a great idea. Well,
Honestly, I think that my.
okay, yeah. With all the moving
And that's
pieces of
fair.
town,
I
I'm
mean,
making a
you
big
wanna get
move,
the
I mean,
most out
what
of
would you
your
say was the
listeners,
biggest
you know,
concern?
like,
I think our
And that's
biggest
the most-
concern is
Here's just something I'll go through
Not
first, make
selling
sure
our
that
house
we're always on the same
more
page,
than what
same
we
page,
want.
and I can protect your experience.
I know the market's a little slow right now.
So when we put them on the market, one of three things.
We're not gonna get the price that we want.
We had a bunch of offers.
For sure. That's what you wanna make sure that you have the most money in your pocket.
That means we did everything
That's right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can appreciate that,
That's our
absolutely.
ideal
And, you know, like I mentioned, some of
Put out
that.
on the market, we get buyers through.
We did like 10 years ago, our first starter home, but.
Through the door.
10 years ago, for sure, so you guys still have somewhat of an idea, but this would be a good refresher.
Yeah.
Absolutely, well,
And then.
before we decide to work together, one thing you should know about me is that one thing you should know my clients really appreciate about me, that I'm gonna shoot you straight and tell you the truth.
And at that
Even
point,
if that
I
means that
think
now it's
we'll-
not the right time to sell your home, if it's okay with you, I'm gonna give you that same.
That's about.
Not fair?
No, that's
So at that
fair.
point. we
Perfect, so
get
here's what we're
back
gonna
to
go
the
through
drawing
today.
board
How to
immediately.
price your home in the current market, to attract the best
We don't
buyers
wanna-
who pay you more
we
than
don't
other
wanna-
buyers. pay for other homes in the area. What we do to get your home sold for the highest price, to ensure that you net the most money in your pocket, like. And after we go through my plan of action, you can discuss whether or not it makes sense for us to work together. Fair enough?
Yeah, no, sounds fair.
So.
Absolutely,
What
so.
I'll show you here is just this house, for example.
As we begin to look at today's market, did you know that house can sell 3
They
times
listed at
in order for the home to
278.
change hands and you get paid?
We were the first people to move into this house, so I was not gonna.
For sure, absolutely, yeah, it's a typical response, and I'm sure after we talk about this, it'll all make sense. And you're probably aware of all these things for the house, right? The first time a house needs to sell is the offer, right? So that's when a buyer brings you, the seller, an offer, you guys
Oh,
are
yeah.
price, closing date, everything else, absolutely. That's what most people think of, right? The second time is the inspection, so when the buyer gets an inspection, as the inspector goes through the house with fine tooth comb, and afterwards, the buyer and seller has time to complete negotiations on whether or not we can be in the price reduction. Maybe nothing at all. But
We
we-
would take the inspector.
The buyers will hire their own
Great show.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely, and then we just need to reach an agreement there with the buyer after the inspection is completed, and that's the second time.
So we have a team approach here.
And the final time
You're not
is when
working
the
with
bank
me
will
as
send the
an
appraiser,
behind me,
take a
we
look
do
at the house
marketing,
and make sure that it's worth what the buyer's willing to pay for.
We have respect.
We have to make sure that
We have
the
an
appraiser
admin
comes
team
back
that
good,
takes care
so
of
we appreciate you were there,
and then
that's
we
the
have
third time the
applications.
house sells, after that, we just wait for closing and you get paid.
And
I don't think we already got it appraised, right? We have to do that.
Proactive communication. I'm gonna be communicating with you
That's a great
throughout
question,
the
how,
process. So
did you guys get it
Friday,
appraised when you
I'll
bought?
reach out and give you an update.
I think
If I need
so.
to call
10 years
you
ago.
before this,
Yeah.
Absolutely,
comes up, I'll
well,
reach
if
out
we
to
went
you.
off that
way
that
we're
number, you
always
might
in
be
constant
leaving a lot of money.
communication and you're in
But
the
Zillow
loop.
says what our estimate is, so.
Zillow, for sure.
And
Yeah, we'll take a look
we
at how to
need
price homes, in the current market.
Uh-oh.
Attract the best buyers. Absolutely.
Don't wanna use any market stuff.
So,
We just
let me
add
pull out this and.
And after going through all of
So
the-
my goal is to show you how to price a property like a realtor or an appraiser would. So first tell me,
So
what do you
we
heard
walk
about the
you through
market
the
right now?
process so you can understand clearly what should
Heard that
as we go.
interest rates are actually dropping and starting.
So
to
this
pick up,
is called
so
Jackpot Week.
I think it's pretty good.
Slow, right, halfway. It's just a little bit ago in this conversation, the market was slow. just going down.
Hey, a lot of money on this.
Now it's picking up.
The more.
Absolutely. Well, the truth is, houses are still selling every day.
And,
We just have to be strategic with our plan of action to make that happen. Perfect. Awesome. So this is a CMA or comparative market analysis. Are you familiar with these?
Yeah, actually, I am.
Oh, perfect. Well, quick refresher then. So these just give us information about home sales for homes that are very similar to yours or nearby. There's gonna be houses that are the same style as yours, same, around the same square footage, and then sold within the last year in your zone, right? So when I put these out, everyone's eyes go to this column here. But I wanna begin with you focusing on this number here. You know what this is? Perfect. So this column explains the average number of days that a house sits on the market before accepting an offer from the buyer. Right? So the reason we start with this number is your experience selling this home will be based on how we land in relation to this number here. So having the right days on market strategy will dictate whether we'll be in control of the process or if a buyer will be. Can I explain why?
Sure.
Absolutely, perfect. I appreciate the enthusiasm. So let's pretend that you're a buyer for this house, right?
Yeah.
You send it to me, you're like, Mark, I want to go see this house, let's go take a look, and we arrive at the showing, and as we're walking in, another buyer's walking in, we walk through.
So
Absolutely love that. It's perfect, it's exactly what I'm looking for, I need to have it, as we're leaving, another buyer's walking in, and we see it's the first day on the market.
There's no showings allowed.
You love that house,
We really
and
wanna
you
drum
see
up
that
the-
much activity activity at the house the first day? What kind of walkthrough would you
We
make?
want everyone to come through.
Probably above asking, just because we wanna get it for sure.
You wanna win, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And other buyers will think the exact same way, right? So let's rewind. Same situation, you wanna go see this house? We go, we take
And
a
then
look at
finally,
it.
your
We
grand.
walk through, the chef that's there, you absolutely love the house, everything you're looking for, and then we go to leave. And you wanna put in an offer, tell me you love this house, it's been on the market for 65 days. But we know houses selling
At this point,
seven.
I feel like we're on the
This
same
neighborhood?
page and I feel comfortable.
In that case,
working
what
with
kind of
you,
walkthrough would you
But
put in?
before we move forward.
Still above asking, just because you really want it.
Above asking? Absolutely, I mean, if you really wanted it, but.
You're shopping. It's up all
It's-
the.
There it is.
I
Think
really
through it.
did
We'll get
keep
there.
it random, like,
Give it a second.
say
We'll
that,
get there.
yeah.
It's- I don't know.
No, think about it. How would you respond? You're in front of a client, they said that, what do you say?
Above asking,
Completely understand that.
just because you really wanna scare it.
Regardless of how much I make.
If I had good comps, I would
I'm sure there.
go into when you go over days on market, how houses typically sell for less. But these all sold in like a day or two, so they're all
That will you pick up
Yeah,
their
this one would be-
information.
like 30,000. I don't know.
Their family.
I've never gotten that response.
Do.
We weren't the brightest.
They'll be quick to.
So what was it? I don't even, what is it?
If the house was on the market for 65 days,
Like offer and it said.
and we know they sell in
I'll
seven.
say it Over asking,
Oh.
just because I really want it.
Often getting the job done and putting the North Mountain near about that.
Yeah. And what are you hoping to get out of this little exercise? What do you want her to say?
But that, I mean, to understand what buyers are thinking, when they're looking at their house and it goes over the days on. market.
So maybe that should be your response.
Perfect, go ahead and fill your name.
Maybe like you as a realtor. would
Well, we're
have
asking
to-
price. Can I tell you what my experience has been with buyers who actually walk into houses like this? You know what they actually say? No, what do they actually say? They start wondering what's wrong with that. Why is it still on?
It was such a-
That
It was a curveball. He wasn't ready for it, but now it's your moment. Yeah, he was like, I was cruising. Yeah, and this is your opportunity to educate. That's what we're doing.
What
What do buyers?
Why, yeah, I didn't know, yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, over asking,
over asking price.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Use that curiosity loop. It'll make it easier for you to explain it.
Alright, so I'd love to start with you giving me a picture of.
Um,
Questions.
Well, can I tell you what the buyers I've worked with?
Ask kind of a question.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I didn't know if you ask a question or go in there, but I don't know what question I would ask. Cause so she said, if I asked why, she would be like, well, cause I wanna make sure I get the house.
Yeah.
Downsizing, it's just.
So you wanna make sure you
down.
secure the house, like it totally.
If we needed out.
Yeah.
But so the house that doesn't want to keep that. Awesome, and what would be the reason for the scenario, and what would you like for all of this?
Just because
I mean, we want.
I wanna make sure that there's not someone else.
No, yeah, no.
that for sure.
No, I can totally understand.
Really,
Now, if I was making a call to the agent,
But.
oh my goodness, no.
You would learn that the
Please,
money.
please send up an offer, you really want it done. It's been on the market for 65 days. What kind of offer do you think you're making? Got it, and.
I think I should change.
Feel options are to stay here.
I think I would probably make just, maybe just that list price. then.
At this price.
If there's no other competition for sure.
Yeah, no, and I can totally understand.
Paying a lot of money.
Just wanna make sure you get the house.
Yeah.
If you don't, so I mean, let's go to here, but.
Most buyers are saying this is, from my
We really like.
Yeah,
they would undershoot that.
I see with those.
I didn't realize you could do that.
Oh, absolutely.
Say.
I would have to do it out.
See how exciting this is?
If the house is
Just getting
listed,
what we're
you
at.
know, say at 350.
You
You gotta
gotta
go
like,
like
from what we heard from our friends.
There's nobody else there. Most buyers are thinking, "Hey, that's cool. What's wrong?"
Not to deal with that.
And if you love it, I can totally understand why you're secure.
You did what
want to
you
get
did.
it at the right price. But if I'm your agent,
So like I mentioned.
I'm gonna be the one telling you, we can get a deal. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, no, that actually makes a lot more sense. So, yeah, then I wouldn't do over asking for sure.
And good news is, you got me to back you up, so if we run into that situation, I'm gonna make sure you get it.
Hey, nice. Yeah.
Well, actually, people don't need this. The response I expect from someone.
So
that's moved
here's
to
what-
the long original for years.
Which, by the way, I was just buyers, we were there.
Pay more than what.
Five. There's three of us, and I thought,
Or what would they not? Sold to the highest price.
Rich, yeah, the cheap
You
one.
can get a discount if you go.
Yeah.
I don't want.
We're not somewhere you
And then after that, we're gonna do the transaction.
Oh, goodness.
Decide whether
Uh,
to buy that. That's unfair.
I've seen people do that for cruise. It's that actually.
Yeah, what's it, cruise, like 30,000 a year or somewhere around there?
It's, you know.
So with that, the time goal that we have is 7 days. We go over that number, and you start to lose leverage, and we're at the risk of losing all these buyers who would compete for your own. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no.
Thought about that. Oh, 3 times.
Perfect. So next, let's create a proper price range that we can expect your home to sell and be able to appraise it. Here's how it works. We're gonna go through a few recently sold comps, and based on the picture, you just tell me objectively whether we should be priced higher or lower based on features and benefits you see. Are you ready? Perfect. So what's your first out? Higher. Oh, there you go. That's my son. Okay, here's the next house.
Lower.
Lower than this one. Got it.
No, the same price.
Okay, around the same? For sure, absolutely. Well, based on that, the market is telling us that your home should hit the market at a price around 275 to 290,000.
I mean, I think that it should be probably more than that, what do you think?
Where's my,
This is the CMA or comparative market. So this shows. About homes that are sold that are.
appreciate that. And if I'm you, I wanna make sure I don't leave any money on the table, right? That's a weird thought. I wanna make sure I don't leave any money on the table either, right?
Yeah.
Totally makes sense. And we can sell the home at whatever price you're comfortable with. So let's do this. I'll walk you through our step-by-step plan to not only find you the buyer who's willing to pay more than anyone else for your home, but also net you the most amount possible, bottom line, at the end of the day. And from there, you can decide exactly what price you want to set. That sounds fair, doesn't it?
Especially if like I'm trying to net the most, you're saying, does that mean that you lower your commission if we weren't able to get like the price?
Dictate whether.
Honestly, if I were in your shoes, I would ask the same question. Unfortunately, 6 is the lowest I'll go. I can go.
So let's pretend that you walk in.
Any other questions?
No.
First day, we walk in and a few other buyers.
So here's some I'll go through upfront to make sure that we're on the same page, that I protect your experience selling homes. When we put a house on the market, only one of 3 things will happen. First, we get an offer, we get showings and offer right away, which means we did everything perfectly, right? Where do we want to land? Second, we get showings to no offer, which means we're presented well enough to get people in the door. But when they got here, they didn't see enough value to make an offer. And generally, this tells us that we're gonna sell 3 to 5% below the current list price, right? And finally, you put the house on the market and no one shows up. No showings and no offers. And at that point, I think you'd agree, we missed in a pretty big way, usually 7 to 10%. We need to go back to the drawing board. Yeah, 7 to 10%, we need to go back.
I'm looking at 3 days.
Does all that make sense?
We go over.
So of those 3 scenarios, where do you want to land and sell your house?
Cool, obviously, first
The
one,
first,
showing in the there.
absolutely, that makes it easy for both of us, doesn't it?
I'll never drop it 10%.
Okay, for sure. Absolutely. And if we wanted to land in that first situation, what do you think we have to do just to make sure that we get enough showings and offer?
I don't know, you're the agent. I would think probably just make sure it's on the market for everyone to see.
Sure, that's definitely a good start, getting all the exposure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
marketing. probably.
In the marketing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The market suggests. Price around 275. What are your thoughts on that?
That would be in part 3. You want me to go to part 3?
Just
ask me a question, just-
well,
if I was her, Keep being a difficult.
Brave.
You're gonna die in this house because we're not selling.
You've got a fuzzy thing hanging out there. I think.
Well, we put on the.
Oh, thanks.
And you're trying to scrub this.
Yeah, I keep thinking that there's like a mark on my
Um,
where.
I'm gonna be real with you.
We could get show.
Everything she's doing to you right now is
This usually means.
Oh, I'm sure.
like, very, I just did it the other day.
On the home.
I got my ass kicked the other day myself.
And so usually.
So
it's
you
about
gotta have
5%.
something to come back with this.
Typically that means.
And
The
The best way to go is to continue to ask questions.
And then the last one is that.
Get rid of the market. Continue to ask.
No showings.
I was looking at-
Yeah.
You're like, if I answer all these questions, they'll stop asking.
Nope.
They don't.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah. and you do that.
All right, well.
So I'm saying, what was the objection?
That all makes sense.
You asked me if I had any questions.
Still wanted to.
Yeah, I would never drop it 10%, and also you said why, and I said you're the agent, you tell me, probably marketing needs to be done.
And that's because you don't really know what you're getting.
There's kind of a lot right there.
Right.
I can appreciate that, and honestly, if I was in your shoes, I wouldn't have dropped the price from 70 either. So let me ask you, I mean, if we did land in that situation where you're getting no showings, no offers,
Right, yeah.
what would you like to do?
Alright.
Well, I saw it's on my house, right?
So.
Still have,
With,
still
we have
have,
marketing.
So maybe I hope that you'd be able to find me a buyer that would come through, but I guess if we got to that point, we'd just.
just go through them.
Yeah, I don't wanna worry about that.
Don't wanna worry about it right now. Absolutely. I don't know where to go with this, I don't know.
We also offered.
Okay, so you said that you're talking 275 and 295. And so that's just based on what we've seen on the market and where they go. Not worried like, no, they should be with necessarily.
Then we have an
Correct.
Yeah.
So with that information, where do you feel like house should fit?
Marketing and we can go.
Still love that, but I mean,
Is there a specific number?
I'm thinking at least 289,
Okay.
right under 290.
That's in the
Uh,
range.
I'm at 269, right under, right above 289.
Okay, so 299.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
After going through all of that.
What did
we
that
can
number
go
come to?
for you.
Okay. New bill estimate.
What is the process? Do you understand clearly
And
what-
do you know how many Zillow was?
Go through all the
No,
steps.
They do it just like-
Oh, exactly. You know why we call it that?
Except they don't factor in like,
That's because this is a week where you would.
So, I can understand the 299 price, and if you want to list your I can totally understand that. We'll list it wherever you want. But with that being said, how many you're gonna go into,
home ready?
just basically reiterating what you said with the
Maybe
three
just a week or
statements.
two to clean up, but it's, yeah, I mean.
I don't wanna take it
Yeah,
down.
ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
But I kept on asking the question, and honestly, there's gonna be some people that will not move on the price.
Well, everything starts with your home being. Monday.
So your best bet at that point is to get in alignment
Or give you any
and
of those
continue.
things that you can buy it, come and pick up the sellers. Then that following Monday will be a
What'd you say?
professional photo shoot.
I said, no, don't get stuck. That's great. That's great advice.
Yeah, instead of sitting there and trying to fight them and fight them and fight them and fight them.
So we have two options. We can do it in the morning.
You found out where she got it from?
Twilight, which would be.
Move on.
To be honest, of everything I've learned from you guys here, you're the client that we don't want. Asking for the discount being difficult. Oh, goodness.
Dude, that's nothing for everything.
And typically.
I haven't started a few of
No, keep going.
No, it's exactly what happened to you
And
yesterday.
then Tuesday and Wednesday.
Huh?
It's exactly what happened to you on- was it Monday?
Monday.
Exactly the same as Monday.
I was just gonna say, was it like you with like a mustache on or something, like disguised as someone else?
That came in
Kind of updated our vision and we finished the base
really good.
a few years ago.
Okay.
Where we at? You want me to go to part 3?
Yep. Jump into part 3, start going.
Then Thursday.
So anytime a seller looks at hiring an agent to handle this massive process, I believe that the seller takes on a huge risk. Why? Because they don't really know what they're getting and can only go off with someone saying. So I've designed a program to help prepare you as a seller for what to expect from me, so that I actually earn your business every day instead of just giving you a great show and you never get it. It's the way it should be, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So when it comes to selling your house, we're gonna utilize a team approach. So you hire me we're not just hiring you, we're also hiring a team to handle your marketing.
Oh, you work on
Now, there's
it.
no showings allowed on Thursday. It's presenting.
We work as a team for sure. Our brokerage works as a team. Absolutely.
So
So you're gonna hire a marketing team that's gonna make sure that your house is seen by as many agents and potential buyers as possible that you talked about. You're gonna hire a team of agents that are constantly prospecting buyers that can potentially find a buyer for your home. And an admin team is gonna make sure that your listing presents professionally, there's no mistakes there. And then finally, if for any reason you can't reach me, in the rare case, we have 16 other backup agents that be able to take care of you if that
We
need.
will have even more buyers come through the door.
Fair enough.
You're totally right.
Awesome. So we're gonna utilize proactive communication, and what that's gonna look like is every Friday, you're gonna get a phone call from me. to Talk about what happened over the last week and what we can expect to happen the next week. That way you're prepared for the
2 more minutes, keep working, 2 more minutes, keep working.
That way you're prepared for what to expect before it happens. There's no surprises in this process.
Great
Fair enough?
conversation with you.
Perfect. And then if for any reason you wake up and you decide you don't wanna work with me anymore, or you no longer wanna sell your house and move to Cancun, we have a very easy exit listing process where you just reimburse the cost of marketing and then we part ways. After going through all this, is that all fair?
Yeah, I don't think I'd probably reimburse you for the marketing costs, but since then we're already losing out on money since you weren't able to sell my home.
Absolutely. And I can understand why you think that way.
Drop their commission in a second.
I'll tell you what, so we get to that point, we could just discuss it. I'm sure we can spend some.
Agent is that
Fair for me.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
How fast do you think that they would want to know where?
Okay, so
Worse.
I forget about the one before, yeah. Well, perfect. So let me run through the process quickly so that you understand clearly what to expect as we move forward, right? So step one is we have to complete the listing paperwork and sell our home, right? Then we're gonna put a yard, or we're gonna install a yard sign, say the house is for sale, and we're gonna install lockbox on the door with a spare key. Then we're gonna start jackpot week, and we'll talk a little about jackpot week in a second. We're gonna create the MLS listing, review it with you, make sure there's no mistakes, and that you like the way it presents your home. And then after we get that all taken care of, we're gonna go live on the market. And then we'll coordinate and pre-qualify all showings with potential buyers. And then that's when you'll start getting those Friday listing updates from, get the phone call, what's going on with that, who stopped by, what the feedback is, and what we can expect moving forward. And once we have offers, we'll do offer consultation, and we'll sit down, I'll present all the offers, and then we'll negotiate those. And after we reach an agreement on an offer, we step one, buyer will have the time to do inspections and appraisals, and we just need to do the agreements on those as well and do negotiation on it. Now, when all that's said and done, we'll coordinate with the title company and the lender.
Like, they don't
It's
like
the same as
doing electronically.
And then once you get your final numbers, we'll review the final numbers. I'm trying to do all this without looking at the list.
That's good.
I have the list
good.
in my head. I'm trying to like read the words. I know it's like,
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, find a good place to stop. Come on back to your seats. Let's talk about this for just a
get
second.
the final numbers, so you know exactly how much you can expect to be paid to sell your house.
Last but not least.
And then the buyers will do the final walkthrough and then we'll close. Fair enough?
Fair.
Yeah. Cool.
Look,
I just gotta get through the list.
No
Yeah.
fiend.
you really have to.
Love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, how are we feeling about this listing presentation? Are we ready to list a house? Anybody like feel like they go take a listing today? Anybody? Okay, a couple people could.
Jesus Christ.
It looks like we're gonna take a listen.
Thank you, thank you.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
I woke up this morning, I was like, I wonder what it feels like to be Jack, and then I just.
You don't have near enough buttons unbuttoned.
Ah!
One button up.
As he feels the second one. He's like, well.
This one count.
Going back to your Southern California days, huh? There it is. Like that. I like that. That's good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we had an interesting role play that happened up front, and I really want to share with you guys one of the ultimate keys of this script. Okay. So, Mark, you said you didn't want to list a house if it happened to be Jasmine as a seller. Why not? I'm just curious. Why not?
Oh, goodness, anytime an objection presented itself, she was sure to take advantage of that. So of course, we got the price objection on the house. which I went through the objection script. And then she's like, okay, that makes sense, that's fair. And then she hit me with it again later, but in between that, it was the commission objection. And then still got the price. I don't know, there's too much going through. There's a lot going on.
Love that. Is it possible that you'll go try to take a listing and you and your seller won't see eye to eye on stuff?
Absolutely.
Is that possible?
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually probably more likely than not. Okay. Somebody please read number 23. I think it's 23. Somebody read number 23 out loud. Somebody, anybody.
So at this point, I feel like we're on the same page and I'd feel comfortable working with you. But before we move forward, do you have any questions or are you ready to get started?
Love it. Number 23. If you notice the first part of that conversation right there, you say something very, very important. Say that one more time, Jasmine, please. Everybody listen to this.
At
Monumentally important.
So at this point, I feel like we're on the same page and I'd feel comfortable working with you. But before we move forward, do you have any questions or are you ready to get started?
Love it. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, you are also interviewing these sellers as your potential clients. You're going to be spending the next month to 2 months with these people in an intimate kind of relationship where we're talking about finances, we're trying to solve problems, we're dealing with negotiations, it's getting stressful, it's getting ugly in here, and you're going to have to decide, are you willing to take on this relationship in addition to the other things that are happening in your life? Does that make sense? So if you get to this point and you guys are not on the same page, are you going to say number 23 exactly like that?
No.
Maybe not. Maybe not. At this point, I don't think we're on the same page, and I'm not sure if we see eye to eye. I might not be the right agent for you. How do you feel about that, Mr. or Mrs. Seller? Yeah, I agree. I don't think this is the right. Perfect. I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a great life. Good luck. Go be crazy with somebody else. See ya. I promise you, when you're sitting in the appointment, you're going to feel crazy just for even thinking the thought. You're like, I'm walking away from $10,000 right now. Like, yes, you are walking away because you can't put a dollar sign on peace of mind. Shout out to Zach Brown Band. Those you guys, Zach Brown Bands. But I'm telling you, those clients that just don't want to work with you, that just don't see eye to eye with you, you are better off not working with those people and spending the hour that you would have spent at that appointment going to look for another seller who does make sense, who is rational, who is trying to work with you and actually wants to get this job done. Okay, I promise you, every listing you walk away from, you could take that time and go find 4 more that are not loony, that are not crazy, that are not going to push you to the edge when it comes time for you to actually try to get this job done. Does that make sense? Okay, so use that, put that in your back pocket and understand that this, as much as they are interviewing you, you are interviewing them to decide if this is worth your time, because you get to decide if you're going to spend your time with them or working with other people. Okay, fair enough. It's okay to walk away from deals, and you probably, if you get that inkling, you probably should. All right, cool. Couple quick announcements. Yesterday in your email, all of you guys should have gotten an email from Greg Acero, our lender partner, and HomeBot, okay, asking you to just register with HomeBot. Okay, it would encourage you guys to take a second today to add that. What that's going to do is that's going to basically enable you to do some passive follow-up with a large number of people that you're putting in your loyalty circle. And what it will do, it'll send them periodic updates on the value of their house, things that are happening in the market, interest rates, lots of other things, and it'll help you stay top of mind with them, and it'll just send things to their inbox so that they see your name associated with real estate in their inbox. Whether they open it or not, that just helps take up some of that mind share so that when it's time for them to do real estate transactions, they call you. Okay, so HomeBot, you got that invite. It's from HomeBot and Greg Acero. You'll see both those names on that email. Take a look at that. You got it yesterday, so go in there, activate that profile. It's not a scam. It is for you, for some of those cold leads that you don't have to follow up with. All right. And then last but not least, we've got Mastermind tomorrow. Is there something else? Aaliyah, is there something else I'm supposed to? All right, it'll hit me later. It'll hit me later if I have another announcement for you. But we've got Mastermind tomorrow. We'll be talking like, oh, there she is. Love it. Cool. For those of you guys who don't know Greg intimately, he'll be here tomorrow. So you get a chance to interact with him and he'll share a little bit of knowledge with us tomorrow. So that is at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Be right here, same time, same place. We do all our stuff on Thursday, and then we'll talk through some questions. We'll talk through some open house strategy. We'll talk through some of that stuff. All right. If you guys need help with anything, we'll be around the rest of the day. Give us a shout and make sure you spend the next couple hours building your business. All right. See you later. Thanks for being here. Peace. I know. Same. Okay. See, there we go. You can get the screen back there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're talking month 2. I'm excited. You're gonna get to start month 1, actual full month 1. But month 2, we're in month 2. Is anybody all the way through all the month 2 videos, all of them?
Yeah.
Today is week 4, so you should focus on catching that up if you haven't. Where'd you get to, Jasmine? Out of curiosity.
I need to finish week 3 still.
Finish week 3 still. All right, I highly recommend. You got some stuff to catch up on.
I know.
We got to know what's going on here. You're about to take a listing. You took a listing last week. So week 3, any takeaways, anything you noticed, anything you learned in week 3 that you're taking with you that you know you're going to be using in your career? Anything in week 3? Week 3, we talked
I
listings.
just throw all my notes
All in
together,
one spot.
and I don't put them in.
In any spot, any
Well,
particular
no, I
order?
just don't like label them like.
Ah, got it.
So
Do you just
mine-
at least add to the bottom, or do you like jump in the middle and like add them?
Week 3.
Got it.
Like thinking about right now. Yeah.
So week 3, we're talking listings. The listing system. The listing system. So in week 3, if you haven't done the training yet, you're going to learn the Meraki listing system. Okay, this is the system, one, that helps us be able to help you list homes. So it helps us get all the information we need in order to help you knock out all the rest of the stuff, the getting your signs out there, getting lock boxes up, getting your stuff on the MLS, getting it marketed properly, telling the photographer what they need to focus on and not focus on. All that stuff tells you what you need to do, what your clients need to do, all that. Okay. The other really cool thing about the listing and buyer system, and the reason we teach these, especially at this point in your training, is now you guys are inevitably starting to have conversations with lots of people, and these opportunities are starting to show up. Okay. So as these opportunities are showing up, what happens is you're going to get busy because you're going to be like trying to get ready for this one listing or this one buyer or whatever. And then inevitably other things are going to start to slip. So we teach you this system so that you get really, really good at doing in this way, because this way you can handle 3, 4, 5, 10 listings at a time, 10 buyers at a time, and it doesn't overwhelm you with activity, right? It gives you a very systematic way to stay organized, and it becomes really, really easy. Okay. So when we talk about Jackpot Week, we're talking about it all month long. We talk about something like Jackpot Week, where even if you had 4 listings that you were taking all at the same time, you don't have to be stressed about like trying to manage this one while we're trying to get the house ready, and this one's doing pictures, and this one's on the market, and we're trying to get feedback to our sellers, and this one we're waiting on contracts but it hasn't sold yet, and I'm supposed to get over there to figure out why it smells so bad, but I haven't been able to get over there yet because I'm so busy with this other. And you get caught up in so many things. And I'll tell you, this was the number one complaint that I had when I started getting like comfortable hitting listings consistently every single month, was that like if you had 2 or 3 listings in a month, I got bogged down with like putting them on the MLS, because like to me that was like drill a hole in my brain boring. Like it killed my soul to do that activity. So if I took more than 2 listings in a week, I'd be like, I just not sell one of these. I really don't. Like, what if I let it go? Seriously, like it becomes that like arduous that like something that dumb, like I would walk away from $10,000 because of the idea of like having to do this MLS entry one more time. Seriously, is that painful? And we made this system intentionally to help you avoid those problems. Okay. So if you have 4 listings at a time, if it's Sunday, you just got to stop by all the listings and make sure they're set up, make sure everybody's ready. And that's what your Sunday after open houses looks like. You make sure you drive over there, stop by, pick up your key, pick up your seller's disclosure, and make sure the house is ready, because it looks like crap. Hey guys, I got good news for you. You get another week to get your house ready. You're not ready yet. Okay. Saves you lots of time, save you lots of stress trying to call the photographer. Hey, sorry, I forgot. The house is still dirty. I'm sorry, you're over there right now. And then they got to charge you for going out there and stuff. Okay. So, Sundays, you go stop by the house, say hi to your clients, get them ready for the week again. Mondays, all you got to do, make sure all 4 of your listings got photos. You got photos for all 4? Okay, thanks. And you're done in 30 seconds for all 4 listings. Tuesday, you're just waiting for photos to come back. Once they come back, you used to have to do this, which is put the MLS entry together, get all the emails ready, social media posts, all that stuff. Luckily, we do all that for you. Now you have an admin team that does all that stuff for you, so you don't have to worry about that part. Really, really nice. So you get that Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, listings all go live. Again, you don't really have to touch anything. You just get to look over your stuff, make sure it looks right, change anything that you want to change. If you want to customize it for yourself or add some language that you like, great, do that. But then instead of it taking you 3 hours to do this process, It takes you 10 minutes because you just get to review it, make tweaks if you want to make tweaks, or don't make tweaks if you're cool with how it looks. Then Friday, you get to just hang out, let the showings happen. Saturday, you get to hang out, let the showings happen. And Sunday, we do an open house. Now, in that video, you got to watch this because it explains the strategy, but there's a reason why we do all of those things. Right? The reason why we don't have showings on Thursday into Friday, we know is because we want to get more people in the house at the same time, right? Because it creates that psychological perception that buyers have to compete against the other people in the house, not against the seller, right? Then Sunday, every house that we list has an open house on Sunday, no matter what the house is, right? No matter if the sellers want it or not, they're getting an open house on Sunday. It's very, very intentional because it's actually going to help you negotiate. So for those of you guys, if you guys have sellers who like, I actually want my house sold on Saturday, like I don't want people in my house Sunday, doesn't matter, you're getting open house. Why? If somebody's interested, you just let them know, hey, you get me an offer before this open house, I'll cancel the open house, I'll cancel all these other showings. I'll do all of that for you if you get me a really good offer. People will jump out of their seats to get you that offer. It just sets you up for really, really easy negotiations. So everything that's in there is set up just for you. And also, if you do get to the open house, hey, free clients for you. What a great opportunity. Every listing you take gives you more opportunity to sell more houses. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why open houses is like the first foundational skill that we talk about as a group, especially in your 30-day challenge. It's like, you got to learn how to do that because there's people walking in the door that you could sell houses to. Okay, so they're ready buyers, and a lot of times there might be people who have a house to sell too. So cool. So if you haven't spent time on that training, spend some time on that, because I promise you there's stuff in there that you're going to learn. There's stuff in there that you haven't seen before. Really, really important stuff. All right, so we're in week 4. Get into week 4. We're going to talk social media. Jeremiah is going to be up here next week, just talking you guys through a little bit. We talked at the mastermind last week about some of the rules that can get you in trouble. He's going to go in depth and just make sure you guys have all those rules and make sure you guys have all that stuff, and then talk to you about a little bit of like, how do you make social media a pillar? There are several ways to do it. Home tours is one way to do it. Real estate education is another way to do it. Much, much more difficult to do it that way. But he'll talk about some of the stuff and some of the things that we are seeing that are really working for people all around the country. So, okay, then last but not least, if you have your coaching forms in front of you, you should be on these week 4. And all we're doing today is we're going to get the screen to catch up. But in month 2, week 4, we are just trying to get really, really clear on the monthly goals that you'll have. I know we previewed this last week, but I want you to be very, very clear on the monthly targets that you have. How many homes do you need to sell every month? How many contacts you need to make in order to get to those home sold goals, and all the numbers in between those two things, right? How many hours you need to be prospecting. So using your annual goals from month 1 that we talked about, we broke all those numbers down. I just want you to complete this chart so you're very clear on what these monthly goals are. And right now, as you guys are 2 months into the system, as you're looking at what you've done for this month, are you in line with these monthly goals? Have you sold 2 homes? Have you had 3 contracts signed? Have you actually been on 12 appointments with other human beings who want to buy or sell real estate? Okay, just get really, really clear on these numbers, because again, some weeks you're going to have a down week. That's okay. Some weeks you're going to be on fire, you're going to be motivated, you're going to be ready to rock and roll. And on those weeks, you're going to be way up. As long as these things average out over the course of a month, that's where the magic is going to happen for you. Because at the end of these 90 days, you're going to see which month did you do well, which months did you struggle, and your results will show up 90 days later based on the activity that you did 90 days before. So this is how you keep yourself accountable when you can have vacations, you can have days off. Nobody's telling you not to have that stuff. The most important thing is that over the course of a month, you get all of these things in. And I'll see the people who will achieve at the highest level will have these things, will be the most consistent about these things. It won't be like one amazing day and then 5 days off. Has anybody got them all down? Anybody got all your numbers down?
Yeah.
How many hours do you need to prospect in order to hit your goals?
22.
22 for the month. Love that. It's an hour a day. Look at this.
Times 26.
26. All right. We're like not quite an hour and a half. An hour and a half of intentional effort.
Bless you.
Okay. Now, the one thing that I want you to notice as you're looking across these things, obviously you see all the numbers that you're supposed to divide by so that it very clearly, or so that it helps you arrive at these conclusions. You might find that your activity currently doesn't help you hit these metrics, right? So when we say 22 hours, notice the contacts goal. Does anybody notice what the contacts goal is per hour? 10. 10 contacts per hour. Now, as you think about your prospecting session, are you consistently talking to 10 people for every hour that you sit down to talk to people? Okay. And if the answer is yes, great. Keep doing more of what you're doing. And that's 10 contacts. So you reach out, they reach back. You can't control if they hate you. Alex asked a really good question to me this week, was like, does a contact count if they even said like, I'm not interested, don't talk to me, F off, like if they curse at you, whatever, like, yeah, it does. 100% it does. Okay. Because you can't control that part. You can't control how they, like what's going on in their life. You can't control if they want to buy a house today. What you control is if you sat down and intentionally took the time to talk to enough people, that's the only thing you can control. Okay. And then from there, all you can control is your skills that then make those conversations better than they could be, or really, really crappy. And people just keep yelling at you for years and years. Okay. So yes, you can't control that, but are you getting 10 contacts an hour? Okay. And I promise you, if you're focused, you can. The thing that stops people from getting 10 contacts an hour is, one, you don't know who you're going to talk to, right? You sit down and you have to look up every number. You're not going to get to 10. You're just going to run out of time. It's going to take you too long. Okay. The second thing that's going to stop you from getting 10 contacts an hour is if you don't follow a script. Okay. Because if you find yourself on the phone for 30 minutes at a time, is it possible for you to get 10 contacts in an hour? Hell no. No chance. Not even a prayer. Okay. And this is one of the reasons why text messages are great. Social media is great. Phone calls are absolutely the best because you can still have the most influence over people, voice to voice. But 10 contacts an hour is what will help you hit that goal. So if you're prospecting for 26 hours and you only made 26 contacts, we missed something. Okay. So just notice that each of these has some ratios in here. And if you're not currently hitting those ratios, it might be harder for you to hit the next number, or for the numbers that you're hitting to actually yield you the results. All right. So we're going to pay close attention to that as we begin, as you guys are tracking your numbers and continuing to do a very, very good job of that. So we put some things in place to help you, right? The journal's there to help you. Jeremiah is checking in with you to help you make sure we track that, and that at all times we can help keep you accountable to those things. Okay. Questions around monthly numbers so far? As you're looking at your numbers, do any of those seem like far-fetched? No chance, couldn't do it, not even close?
Not far-fetched, but it can be a lot harder.
Yeah. This is the beauty of these numbers is what it does is it puts some reality around. Like a lot of times we feel like we're doing a lot. We feel like we're making progress. We feel like we're moving forward. And then you look at it and you're like, damn, I'm not doing enough to get my results yet. Yeah. That's a lot of times that's what happens. And sometimes it might be twice as much effort. Sometimes it might be 10x the effort. And both those are okay. I just want you to be at peace with the reality of this is what it's going to take for you, especially starting your career. It takes more than you think, and be at peace with that. Okay. It's going to take more because in the first 3 years of your career, this is what's supposed to happen to you. You're supposed to feel overworked and underpaid. You're supposed to. I'm just letting you know right now, you're supposed to feel that way. I'm doing all this stuff and I'm not getting paid for it yet. You're supposed to feel that way. Okay? Yes, you're supposed to feel that way. Okay. Somewhere around that year 3 mark, and it's not the exact same timeline for everybody, but somewhere around that year 3 mark, you begin to be like paid well for your work. Like you're paid fairly and you're like, okay, now we're cruising. Okay. Somewhere around that 4 to 5 year mark, you are vastly overpaid for the amount of effort you do. You're sitting on your couch, you're watching movies, and you got 3 text messages from people who want to buy homes. You're like, well, that's nice. That was cool, right? But you have to get there. It takes time to build that database up, because in the beginning of your career, like all the skills I'm teaching you around like prospecting and finding deals from strangers, that's how you have to build your business, because you don't have those yet. You don't have that database built yet of people that are coming back to you for repeat referral and sending you business. Okay. But once you get that, You build that, like, for example, Eric, he sells more houses than anybody on our team. He sells 40 houses a year. And he doesn't have to prospect new people nearly as much as the rest of you do, right? It's not fair. I know it's not fair, but he's been in the game for 10 years. Like, that's
Yeah.
where it comes from. So you have to build that up. And once you get there, you will also have that. But it takes time. Like, time is a piece of the formula I can't take out. And if I could figure out how to take it out, I promise you I would do it for you in a heartbeat. But once we figure it out, I will give it to you then as well. So, so okay.
When you find out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I just said, it was nothing. It's a comment on the comment.
I don't know about everybody else, but I'm, trying to learn all this and trying to get all these new habits.
Mhm.
It's also trying to break your old lifestyle habits.
Yeah.
Because in my head, it's like working weekends and it's like, oh, it's 9 to 5 or, it's just trying to break all that stuff down. So I can see the first 3 years.
Yeah, it takes some time for sure. And this is one of the reasons why we break this down, especially as you look at your numbers. Like 26, how many hours are you supposed to prospect in order to hit your goals?
Me?
Yeah.
For the month,
Yep.
266.
266 hours?
No, I have a big goal.
That's a lot of hours.
Yeah.
What's your?
We gotta
My
talk
goal
about
is
that.
20 a year.
20 a year.
Would be-
All right, we gotta do that
Mine's
math again.
24.
Yeah, mine's 20.
Yeah, there's
Mine's
some math.
20 as well, so yours.
There's
should
some
be-
math that got math.
Yours should be the same as
You might
mine.
have accidentally used one of the
Yearly.
How many contacts do you need? Do you do 0.5 or 0.05? You might have just like triple.
Yeah, I'm at 2,600.
Yeah, a month. That's getting after it. Yeah, getting after it. Yeah, correct. I'm glad we talked about this. This is the reason why we talked about this.
She's casting a large net.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I've got like 10 hours today. I'm
She's
gonna
like,
be
my
fine."
goal
Yeah.
to sell this year is 400 homes.
Yeah, it should be in the 20s to 30s of your prospecting per month. And again, if you really think about that, that means like if you could, even though you've got some old habits that could be tying you down, if you could really get focused for 1 to 2 hours a day, you could make everything that's on your page happen. If you could really be focused. And for some of you guys, if you have a hard time being focused, it might take you 2 or 3 hours because 10 contacts an hour is not easy for everybody.
Pain in the ass is editing 24 videos. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah.
I'm like a perfectionist, but I'm like, I sit there for like 2 hours.
It's a labor of love.
Now it's good.
And now it's perfect. Yes.
Oh my gosh, I showed JJ one that one of my friends shared the other day. It made him like cringe.
It's like
Because
this.
it was an agent in Des Moines and they were like,
Oh.
Yeah.
like, it was like, they did a backyard one and it was literally like that. I was
You're like,
like, you're like, was that a tree back there?
Like, screenshot. You're like, maybe I'll get the backyard
It
across
was
these
bad.
screenshots. That's tough. Yeah, not everybody's about that quality life.
And it was like shaking hand too, like.
Oh, that's brutal.
I started doing the.
The shaky, the old
little
person.
ones That you do. You know.
Yeah, did you get any?
No, but it is just a easy, quick way to make sure that I'm still getting posts out.
Mm-hmm. Getting
I mean,
posts
my
out.
one like step aunt reposted it. It's like, if you need a house, contact chat with my niece, which I'm not her niece, but it's okay.
Yeah,
But
like,
it
We've all
matters.
got those, right?
some of them you'll
I'm like,
get
okay.
like 0
Parent
hits,
friend.
but one of the first ones I posted, I got like 4 or 5 people that were interested in it. So it's,
My
That's it.
Facebook, I'm now starting to follow my parents' friends. Because
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah, none of my friends really.
I literally-
Yeah, not yours.
They
Yeah.
don't
I
do
just
it.
started adding anyone I remotely know.
That's what I
I'm like,
do.
I met you in 2010, I think.
If it's a quick ad, I'm like, add, like, you
Done, done,
just got married. Perfect.
Life circumstance.
But I did have a person that went to Millard West and I added them because they requested me. And then when I had reached out to her, she was like, say cheese. I'm like, I'm not a robot. I was like, I was just contacting you because I went to Going North. I saw you went to Millard West. And she's like, say cheese. And I'm like, what?
Did you say cheese?
Are you, I was going to, and I'm like, are you screenshotting these? Like,
Right.
and I was
Cheese, and
like-
then she like, gotcha.
Got your social security.
I was like,
That was
oh,
crazy.
I was like, maybe yours is a scammer bot. I'm sorry. I thought since you went to Millard West, it wasn't gonna be that, but I'll make sure to unfollow.
There you go.
I was like, well.
All right. All right. Do you have a new number for us?
No.
Okay.
I had 2 coffee dates this morning, so I'm like, I'm totally out of it.
You're like, I'm zonked out
And
now.
I'm exhausted.
Maybe it's the very first
Yeah.
two that you messed up.
I've got 20.
You did your annual, so
I'm doing this
20
annual
divided by
rate.
12. Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
what I was
God.
saying. I'm like.
There you
yeah,
go.
I'm like, that's where I messed up.
Divided by 12, yeah. You do that one and then you take it all the way through the bottom. You're like, how? There we go. All right. Love it. Love it. Yes, there, it shouldn't be daunting. It shouldn't be crazy. It should be like, oh, I have a whole month to do that? Great. Yeah. Yeah. Listen. You-
Really,
15 hours to call people today.
It should be very, very good. And that if you begin exceeding these goals on a consistent basis, exceeding any of these monthly goals on a consistent basis, watch how quickly that 3-year period of overworked and underpaid shrinks into a year, shrinks into 6 months, shrinks into 3 months because of the amount of effort you put in.
Okay.
I'll tell you, the mindset that really got me over the hump was I'm going to do twice as much effort, expecting to get half of the result that you're supposed to get. Right. So when basically my mentor said, you need to go on 20 appointments a month. So like I went on 40, expecting to get 2 deals. Right. And I got 1. It was great. 40 appointments to get 1. But the month after, I got 3. Right. And then the month after that, it was 2 a month consistently by clockwork. Right. So it's going to take more effort in the beginning. So you can space it out. You can take the whole 3 years, or you can shortchange that, make it 6 months. Totally up to you. Highly recommend you go the faster route, because over 3 years, it's real easy to forget and move on to something else and whatever else. So anyway, that's what I have for you this week. Thank you guys for being here. If you have questions around this, around your numbers, make sure you're tracking your numbers. Make sure you hit your monthly goals. You'll love what happens at the end of it. Cool. Thanks for being here. See you.
Hope all this farm was.
Junior, hope you're feeling better. See you.